my darlings. I'm back with True Scary Tales to Tell in the Dark, Chapter 5. I know I've been away for a little while, but I've been trying to promote my web novel. If you haven't seen it, then check my last video. I posted the link there. And the web novel is on Amazon, so I've been pretty busy with that. But I'm back, and I have a list of new horror tales for you that were shared, and some of them they might be a little more mysterious and scary, and some of them might be just straight up scary, hopefully. So I'm going to dig right into these new stories, and hope you enjoy them. And I want to thank you for joining me tonight, and I hope you checked out my last video and enjoyed those creepy tales. And so the first story I'm going to start out with is titled Stacy. You ready to find out what that is? Yeah, here we go. I was dating a girl in high school. Let's call her Stacy. During senior year, we got senior release during lunch, which meant we could leave school during our lunch period. Being horny teens, we went back to her house and she started giving me a BJ. And for those who don't know what a BJ is, blow, and you lost your job. We'll just put those together. Suddenly, we both hear someone call out, "Stacy?" We both jumped up and got dressed. No one was home. Both her parents were at work, and her siblings was at school. We looked outside, and no neighbors were outside. To this day, we have no idea who or what it was, but we both heard it. That was shared by a user named Mr. Belch. That sounds pretty creepy. So, who do you think it was calling his girlfriend's name in her house? Was it a jealous boyfriend ghost? He didn't get laid before he died, so decided to come back and see if he can get his girl back. I don't know. Whatever. Well, the next story, this one is titled Haunted Tattoo Shop. Worked in a tattoo shop where two of the past owners had died. One of them died just a block away from the shop, and it was long rumored that the shop was haunted or cursed. Weird stuff would happen, like speakers, decorative knives falling off shelves overnight and smashing through our glass-top light table, and the lights would flicker on and off. One late night, I was alone in the shop tattooing some 18-year-old kid, and the light above me started flickering. My lights above my station had always been perfectly lit, so this seemed unusual. It was flickering so much that it was starting to get annoying, and I began to feel nervous, even though I really didn't believe the shop was haunted. Finally, after a few minutes of this, I stopped tattooing for a second, looked up at the light, and said in my head, "Okay, dead shop owner's name. I get it, you're here. Can you stop messing with my light, please?" It was supposed to be kind of a joke. The light stopped flickering instantly. It went back to just shining regular old light, and I went back to tattooing, pretty shaken up. From that moment, I knew the dead shop owner was there, and I knew he was just causing occasional mayhem to fuck with us. Nothing malicious, but definitely haunting that place. Now that was shared by username Mimikit. So, well, what do you think? Was it haunted or was there a dead shop owner? I don't know. That was weird. Messing with the lights. Huh. You think it was a dead shop owner that was mad about his electric bill? I don't know. Okay, moving on. This next one is titled People Are Scarier Than Ghosts. I used to work at a Boy Scout summer camp. Every week, I had to take a big group of campers to a secluded spot for their wilderness survival badge, where they had to build a shelter out of sticks, leaves, etc., and sleep in it overnight. The spot was only about half a mile from the main camp, but we took them a circuitous route that made it seem really secluded. Anyways, on this one night, all the campers had made their shelters and we had cooked dinner. And we're all just sitting around the campfire. It was getting late, maybe 11 o'clock, so I sent all the campers to their shelters for the night and started cleaning up the fire. That's when we heard in the distance what sounded like church bells. They were pretty faint, but myself and my fellow staffers could definitely hear them. They went on for about 30 minutes, ringing every 30 seconds or so. We were all a little creeped out, as there were no churches or towns within 20 miles of us. After the bell stopped, though, the singing started. It was too faint to hear the words, but it sounded like church choir music, but a lot of people and a lot more enthusiastic. Also, it was almost midnight at this point. The singing went on for well over an hour, sometimes quieting down until we almost couldn't hear it, sometimes getting so loud we thought it was getting closer. All of the campers were super creeped out, but I lied to them, telling them there was a church service going on in camp and that there was nothing to be scared of. Eventually, at almost 1 a.m., the singing stopped. I found out a few days later that there had been a large KKK rally only a few miles away that night, and that's what we had heard. Wow, that was shared by username Vivilly D. Damn, a KKK rally. And they singing church music. Those racist bastards. They got the nerve to be singing church music? Really? Wow, bunch of hypocrites. Well, I hope there was no black campers in there, and I'm glad they got away. That was awkward. A KKK church choir seemed like an oxymoron. The two don't go together, does it? That's like a murderer angel. Okay, enough blabbing. This next one is titled Co-Worker Apparition. This isn't creepy, but it gave me pause for thought. I was returning to my office, having finished a meeting. As I approached the door, I saw my colleague walk from the left of the office to the right, presumably returning to his desk. As I entered the office, I started to say, "Hey, Ma," stopping abruptly upon the realization that there was nobody else in the office but with me. I'm not sure what exactly I witnessed, but it was clear enough and detailed enough to convince me 100% that my colleague would be in there. Now that was shared by username Most Best Internetter. That's pretty creepy. Why do I feel like I gotta keep saying, it's time to quit that job? But I don't know. If there was a ghost in my workplace, I would fire myself. So I would leave. I wouldn't stay there. No ghost co-workers. No thank you. He could be Casper the Friendly Ghost. I don't care. I wouldn't stay there and work with him. Okay, but anyway, on to the next one. This one is titled, At Least It Wasn't the Other Way Around. A few months ago, I had this really scary dream that seemed so real. In my dream, I was in my bed doing something on my laptop. Suddenly, I just had a bad feeling something wasn't right. Like I somehow knew something was in my room with me that shouldn't be there. I jumped off my bed and hurry and flip my light on. I flip it on just in time to see this weird black shadow sphere thing with legs zoom under my bed. I woke up scared and crying, but it felt so real, and I just knew whatever I saw was very evil. The next day, me and my dad were watching one of those ghost shows, like My Ghost Story on TV. In the episode, this woman was in her room, and all of a sudden, she felt like something wasn't right. She turned her light switch on just in time to see a weird black shadow sphere thing with legs scurry under her bed. It pretty much looked exactly like the thing I saw in my dream. I flipped out. Now that was shared by username New Account Sauce. So what's with this weird black shadow sphere thing with legs? That sounds weird. What's it like? It sounds like a fat shadow person. What do you think? You think you might be like an obese shadow person, overweight, struggling, sphere shape? So I'm thinking, yeah, I don't know. He's just a shadow person. He's mad. He got to lose weight, so he haunts people because he's a big ass shadow person. He can't. No, what am I talking about? Okay. On to the next one. This one is titled, But Then Who Was Home? Working late in the lab at school. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. This one is titled, But Then Who Was Phone? Okay. Anyway, working late in the lab at school, I had to grab something from an upstairs classroom. It's after midnight and the entire building was empty and dark. Suddenly, the phone in the classroom starts ringing. So after that heart attack, I decided to answer it. Silence. Not even a dial tone. So I hope out and go back to my dorm. The next day, I have class in that room. So I asked my professor how often people call the classroom phone by mistake. He looks at me funny and says, the phone in that room has been disconnected for years. Oh crap. That was shared by username Pinging Gear. Great. Now we got ghosts calling the phone. Okay. What's this? Poltergeist T-Mobile? Okay, so that's weird. So the phone was disconnected and we get a phone call. Yeah. I think it's time to leave that school. Yeah. All right. This next one, this one is titled The Murder Chair. Took my 3-year-old daughter on a hiking trail through some local woods. I let my daughter lead the way, and she chose to turn up a path that was far less well trafficked than most of the trails in the area. About 10-15 minutes in on this relatively overgrown and barely there trail heading deeper into a more isolated portion of the forest than I'd ever been to previously, we came across a grisly sight. A white plastic lawn chair tied to a tree by a rope, the seat covered in splatters of days-old, dried, viscous fluid. I snapped a pic and then picked my daughter up and noped out of there. After the fact, I've come to a far less creepy explanation for what we saw, but in the moment, it was creepy. And that was shared by username OctavianX. All right, you go hiking with your baby, you see a chair hanging from a rope. A lawn chair covered in viscous fluid. I don't know what to make of that. You know what? How about just take your baby to, maybe a park somewhere deep in the city, Stay out the woods, okay? No hiking trails. No, thank you. Just take her to a park or a playground, a city with a lot of people around. A lot of people. You're not alone with your baby. Yeah, whatever. That's just me. But this one is titled The Crow. I was working with a young client with childhood onset schizophrenia. This individual was a harm to themselves and others. My back was to the window in my office when they started screaming, "The man in the black is here. He followed me. No, no." As I'm trying to calm them down, they start to sob. "He is at the window. I can hear him. He says he wants to hurt you. He will come in here and take your skin off. He wants you dead." I am trying to calm them down, moving through the plan we had when they were overcome by their hallucinations. Then I hear tapping on the window. There is an enormous black crow at the window, tapping on the glass extremely hard with its beak. The bird was just staring at me. It would tap, bringing its head back and slamming its beak into the glass, then staring over and over again. I got the client calmed down and we ended. The bird was still there. We leave the office. The bird was still there when I came back. Next client comes in. The bird was still there. That bird sat in my window another 4 hours, staring and tapping. Now that was shared by a username Lustful Gumby. What the hell is that about? Maybe you should have gave him some bird feed. I don't know. Do crows like bird feed? They like seeds? How about sesame seeds? No. Sunflower seeds? Yeah. You should maybe just give him some sunflower seeds. It would have stopped him from, maybe he's just hungry. Just wants some food or something. I don't know. Whatever. This one is titled Peeping Tom. I don't know if this counts because I was too young to actually remember this happening. But one day, when I was in elementary school, my mom picked my brother and I up from school, and we stopped to play at a local park on the way home. We ended up leaving early because there was a sketchy truck parked there, not in the parking lot, and my mom was a little uneasy about it. Later that night, my mom was getting ready for bed and screamed because there was a guy peering through her bedroom window. My dad ran outside, but the guy was gone already. A month or so later, we were watching America's Most Wanted, and my mom recognized one of the guys as the guy who had been peering through her window. His truck was identical to the sketchy truck she had seen at the park. He had murdered his girlfriend's parents. Girlfriend and brother were stabbed but survived. What the? Well, that was shared by username Bare Shoulder Heathen. Well, you know what? I just said, take your babies to the park in the middle of the city, but you know what? Forget it. I said don't go on a hiking trail, take them around people. Then you get a jackass like that. So I don't know what to say. You know what? How about this? Just stay at home. Y'all just watch movies. Y'all play in the backyard or something. Forget it. You ain't safe in the city either. My God. I said take them to a park. And then you take them to a park and then you get a creepy guy who kills his girlfriend's parents. That's just great. So forget it. You ain't safe nowhere. You ain't safe in a trail park. You ain't safe at the park in the middle of the city. So whatever. Oh, all right. This next one is titled Benign Ghost. Almost every night, my TV turns on by itself at some point between 3 and 5 a.m. I used to think that maybe it was one of my cats who walked across the remote. But I've tried hiding the remote, putting it in places where they couldn't get to it, and it still happens. Now, I just turn the sound all the way down before I go to bed. The TV will still get turned on, but at least then I won't be woken up by it. I'm sure there's some reasonable explanation for it, but I rather like the idea of having a benign ghost who likes late night TV living in my tiny apartment with me. That was shared by username Lullaby. Are they nuts? Why the hell would you want a ghost? Why would you rather have a ghost up in your crib, turning on your TV and watching James Corden or Jimmy Kimmel? No, I don't think so. I don't want no ghost in my crib watching no late night TV. I would rather prefer that something's wrong with that damn television. You need to get a new one, or the remote needs to be fixed. This one, they kind of crazy. Talking about they would rather have a benign ghost. Nah, I don't think so. The ghost can be so sweet and so gentle and so nice. No, get the hell out of my crib and go back where you came from. But anyway, this one is titled Shooter. I had a customer come into my work wearing a trench coat and Ushanka type hat. Looked to have something strapped to his shirt under the coat with duct tape. He left. I messaged my wife about how creepy he was and that I thought he had a bomb on his chest. He came back 15 minutes later and thanked me for being polite and started talking about religion and Obama being the Antichrist. Turns out he was on his way to shoot up the Planned Parenthood and he managed to kill 3 people. Now that was shared by a username Yazar1234. Oh, great. So this guy was a active shooter. Wow. Well, I don't know what to say to that one. This is a point where you wish you know what people are going to do before they do it so you can stop them. I wish I could have, kind of did like a Bruce Willis Unbreakable thing. Kind of like I could sense what he's about to do and I could have stopped him from going to the Planned Parenthood and shooting 3 people. Yeah. Well, I feel bad for the 3 people. That's kind of tragic. But on to the next one. This one is titled The Universe Turned Off. About 3 years ago, my old roommate and I were just hanging out in our living room watching a show or something in the middle of the day when all of a sudden, for like a split second, everything went pitch black. Like everything. It was not a power outage our TV remained on and there were no blinking clocks. It was more as if the universe just turned off for half a second, as if this utterly unparalleled experience wasn't enough on its own. My roommate looked over at me right after it happened and said, "Did you see that?" And that was shared by username I'm Mr. Me Seeks Look at Me. That's pretty damn weird. So they say the universe went out for a second, huh? Well, I don't know what to make of that. Or you think they were just stoned? Maybe they were just high, and the power outage looked like the sun went out. So, yeah, they might have been smoking some marijuana or something. Because that can mess with your brain. So, they might have thought the universe went out. When you on drugs, a simple power outage looks like the universe went out. So, So they might have been high as I don't know what, and just sitting there chilling. And lights went out, and they thought, oh my God, the universe went out. My God, and it was just a damn power outage. But whatever. I hope I'm making you guys laugh. I don't know. I'm just trying to make this funny. Well, I'll be back with some more for you guys, and I hope you enjoyed those. You let me know what you think about them. Please don't be afraid to. Forget it. You do what you want to do. If you want to comment, whatever. If you don't, you don't have to. But I just want to bring some more creepy tales to you tonight, and I hope you enjoyed that. And I'll have some more. And if you ever get the chance, do check out my web novel on Amazon. You probably already know what the title is, or if you don't, I'll tell you anyway. And I'll tell you, it's Mama Cobra, and you can check it out. I know I probably explained it already. It's a web novel. It's not a straight up ebook. So a web novel means it's just a novel that's available on the internet. But this one is on Amazon's publishing platform. And what Amazon does is once if you have an Amazon account, if you want to read the first 8 chapters, Amazon will give you 200 free tokens where you can use those tokens to unlock those chapters for free. And once you use up your 200 tokens, you'll have to buy more tokens to unlock other episodes if you want. Amazon calls the chapters episodes. So far I got like half of my novel up there, and authors, they upload like episodes every day, so their followers and their readers can follow the story and click on the new episode that the author uploaded. So that's what I'm doing. My novel is complete, but I'm just uploading every episode like it's a Disney Plus series. So I hope you check it out, and I hope you enjoy the read. It's not a perfect novel. It's a sci-fi fantasy thing going on. But you let me know. Check it out. I put the link in the description box and in the comment section, and you'll probably see it coming up in the video, the cover of the book and where to go and blah blah blah. But anyway, hope you check out my web novel. Hope you like tonight's stories, and I'll be back with some more. I know I go away from long distances, but I'm kind of thinking none of you guys really care. So, but let me know what you thought about this or not, and if you enjoyed it, if I made you laugh or if I didn't. But I'll be back again, and until you hear from me next time, good night, my darling.